A large part of what I'm going to share today, right, comes from a not good situation I found myself in on the last year of my JC2. So last year at JC2, so a quick story. I did pretty well, PSLE, went to Chinese High, now called Hwa Chong. Did pretty well in my O-levels also. But last time I was a grinder. Who came out just now and said they were a grinder? Hands up. It's my fellow who's a grinder, yeah. Who identifies as a grinder? Hands up if you're a grinder. Mugger, grinder, just like putting a lot of effort. So no one teach me this kind of stuff last time. So anyway, I found myself last year of JC2. So last year of JC2, by the way, I just want to check, who here is secondary school? You're a secondary school student? Just now I think, are there JC people here? JC students? Okay, just a few. Okay, cool. So I find myself, so listen up. I find myself last year, JC2, and I'm about to take a big exam. It's called the A-levels. Yes, anyone knows? Okay. So I'm about to take the A-levels, and my prelim score, remember, don't be in that situation. My prelim score is B, D, U, and O. Who thinks not very good score? Oh, actually I also don't know. I think it's one of these ungraded kind of things. Who think not very good score? Hands up if you think so. No, I think it's B, D, E, and O. O is like ungraded, or U is somewhere there. Hands up if you think it's not very good score. But here's at least the good news. The good news is the prelim score don't affect your A-level score. Everyone clear? Simple. But I mean, it's a reflection of your confidence. And now that was the situation I'm in. Okay, turn the person beside you, say, don't be in that situation. Can okay So, my grades are B, D, E, O. I have 2 months now to prepare and ace the A-levels. Hopefully I don't get B, D, E, O or worse. And so this is a story of how I basically turned B, D, E, O to 4 A's in 2 months. Who wants to hear? Hands up if you want to hear. Very good. Now I have your attention. So, when you have 2 months to turn basically 60 days to turn B, D, E, O to 4 A's, what are you short on? Time. Who agree? You're short on time. Also, you need to master and learn all of these things in a short amount of time. So before I continue, I repeat one more time. Don't put yourself in that position. Why? Because very stressful. Who agree? But copy the method. Now is June, final day of June. You got July, August, September, a bit of October. So you have 3.5 months. You don't need to be in my situation. Everybody clear? Please give me a thumbs up if that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to teach you 4 things here that I did in 2 months. So, the first thing I'm going to teach you is this simple word, which I gathered here today. What's the word? Louder? Exam. Exam. I want to ask you a very simple question that you have never perhaps thought of before. What is an exam?
A test of your skills.
A test of your skills? Interesting. What is an exam? So I ask you an even better, yes?
Test of your memory.
Test of your memory. Interesting. We shall see. Is that really true? So watch. There are 3 parts to an exam. What's the first word?
No.
Louder?
No.
Second word?
Do.
Third word?
Resolve.
Hey, I ask you a question. Now, many of you think an exam, listen many of you think an exam is a reflection of how much I know. Hey, that's not true. An exam is not a reflection of how much you know. Because is it possible to do one thing? Everyone listen carefully. Is it possible to know a lot, but be unable to answer the questions properly? Hands up if it's possible to do that. So what if you go there and you memorize a lot of things also, but then you cannot answer a question properly? Do you get a score, right, for how much you know? No. You get a score for how well you're able to answer the questions. Who agree? Hands up if you agree. I had a simple realization that the result was not based on how much I know. The result was based on how much I can answer the questions during a short amount of time. There's a huge difference. You spend a lot of time memorizing the content. I spend a lot of time being able to answer the questions. Very different. If I do this very well, I might not need to know everything, because my result is based on how well I'm able to answer the questions, not how much information or how many notes I read. Before I continue, who understands what I'm saying here? Because this entire segment is basically exam hacks. I had a realization. I cannot cram and learn a lot of things in 2 months. But I can know how to answer all the questions very well. And if I know how to answer the question very well, I get a good score. My classmates spend all their time reading notes and memorizing content. I will spend all my time learning how to answer questions. Because this is what I get a score for. Who understand this part? Please give me a thumbs up if you understand this part. If you get this, this is the biggest hack. Everybody clear? Okay, so this was what I realized. What is an exam? Please write down. The ability to answer questions under pressure, under time pressure. It's as simple as that. The ability to answer questions under time pressure. That's it. And so if I want to ace the exam, I must only do 2 things. Be able to answer questions under time pressure. If I keep practicing these 2 things only, I know how to answer questions under time pressure, I'll be very good at exam taking. Before I continue, raise your hand if you understand what I'm saying so far. It's not about how much I know. It's not how much I memorize. It's not how many notes I read. No. It's only about being able to answer questions under time pressure. Please give me a thumbs up if this makes sense to you. And the better I am at answering questions under time pressure, the better I am at the exam. So before I continue, what do you think we need to practice to be good at exam? Very simple. We need to practice how to answer questions under time pressure. Is it possible? So if your studying method right now does not involve learning how to answer questions, it only involves highlighting the book, chanting, memorizing, you might not do well at the exam. Because many of us, our studying method when I was a grinder last time involved 90% reading, chanting, memorizing, 10% answering questions. Then you find when I go to exam, actually I don't know how, like I'm very stressed. How many of you, your current preparation method is a lot of reading, memorizing, not a lot of answering questions? Hands up if that's you. And for the same people that raise your hand, right, how many of you find that when you actually go and answer the question, a bit difficult? That's why. When you, David, listen, when you spend all your time reading, do you know what you become good at? Reading. When you spend all your time chanting, you know what you become good at? Chanting. But when you're like me and you're short on time and you spend all your time only learning how to answer questions, you become really, really good at answering questions. So that's the hack. The hack is don't spend so much time just reading and chanting and memorizing. Spend most of your time should be the other way around. I am paid or I am rewarded for answering questions. I will spend most of my time learning how to answer questions really well. And I'm also rewarded for answering these questions under time pressure. So later on, Dylan will talk about how you can answer questions really well under time pressure. So does your practice need to be under time pressure? Hands up if you think so. Of course. So I noticed something because I am short on what? Time. I noticed my friends spend all their time taking the thickest textbooks. I'm telling you what not to do. Thickest textbooks. As if one not enough also. So go school library, take different textbooks, correct? Then they go and take tons of notes. And they spend all their time in the library reading. Reading is a very boring thing. So they read, sleep, read, sleep, read, sleep. I am short on time. And I figured, when you're short on time, you got 60 days. And I'm only rewarded for answering questions. I spend all my time just learning. I want to know how to answer questions very quickly. And so every day I practice. So they are reading, I'm practicing. When it comes to the exam, who do you think is more prepared? Me, because I spend all my time practicing. They spend all their time reading. Reading don't equal practice. Everybody clear? If you master this, you will ace the exams. Who had a paradigm shift? Like you change your paradigm. Give me a thumbs up if you feel a change in paradigm. Because why? Because you realize my exam preparation needs to be more practice. It needs to be answering questions, not about memorizing. So I'll teach you a few more tips. So that's the first one. So if you want to master the art of answering questions, you need a few things here. So the first tip I want to tell you, right, has only to do with 3 letters. What's the word? Louder, louder. Louder? By the way, I have you say it so that people at the back who can't see, then they know I'm writing. What's this word?
Why?
Why? So, the first thing you need to do, if you are short on time and you want to master an exam, is you don't need to memorize a lot of what, but you need to understand the concept. you need to understand why. So please write down. It's not about what memorizing first. It's about, and especially if you're short on time, the most important thing, right, is to understand why something works. The math stuff. Why does this work? What is going on? What is the concept here? If you are copying, you are memorizing, but you cannot really understand what is going on, that is a huge problem. And the beautiful thing is when you understand why something works, or what this thing is about really, you are good already. Who understand what I'm saying? I will have you, especially if right now there are things that you don't know, I will have you find a teacher. You can find Dylan for math. You go and find, you need to understand why something works. Like what is going on? What is the idea here? What's the concept? The moment you get a concept, you're okay. Because when you understand why something works, you can create things on your own. But if you don't know why it works, which means you don't really get the idea, like, I don't understand this, then you cannot really. You memorize the method, you memorize the words, but it doesn't make sense. Everyone clear? So it's not about what you know. It's like you need to understand the concept first. Why does this work? What is the concept here? I was short on time. And at that point of time, I had not spent a lot of time. Remember, don't copy me. I had not spent a lot of time listening in class. I did not understand. So at that point of time, I was studying a subject called economics. I don't understand a single thing. Okay, boss, I was spending most of my time not listening in class. I didn't understand history also. I didn't understand many of these things. So do you know what I did? I did not want to read the textbook. Because sometimes when you read the textbook, you get more and more confused. Who has ever been there before? Hands up if you do. You read a textbook, there are a lot of words. After you read 20 pages, you don't know what the heck you're reading. Yes? So you know what I did? I'm not saying copy me. I'm saying like this is what I did. I went to buy one of these like really thin summary notes for 2 years of economics. And all I wanted to do, right, was to make sure I understand every single concept. So inside, you know what I love most about the summary notes? It only had graph and model. And they didn't write a lot of words. I don't like textbooks sometimes. I'm not saying copy me, I'm just telling you. I don't like textbooks sometimes because textbooks sometimes spend a lot of words explaining very simple concept. Who agree with me? I found this book because they use very little words and use a lot of pictures. And so after I flipped this 50-page book, I felt I understood 2 years of economics. Everybody clear? I felt when I read the textbook, 340 pages, I didn't understand shit. And so I'm short on time. Now I understand everything. Now I can explain things. Now I understand, what's the first word? Why. That's the first key. Now, second thing. Let's all read out loud. 1, 2, 3. Hey, louder. 1, 2, 3. So, this is another hack. Listen carefully. So the first thing I bought was that thin book. I need to understand what the heck I'm studying here. What do these graphs mean? I finished that book. I read that book 2 or 3 times. Now I understand all the concepts. Now I understand the graphs. Now I can explain to people, oh, this is definitely what it means. Cool. At least you're on the right track. I feel a bit more confident. By the way, everything we're about to share today, from Daryl's segment to the segment I'm sharing to Dylan's segment, it's all about the word confidence. Can you guys say it back? 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
Louder.
Confidence.
Do you know when you feel confidence? Confidence is not just putting yourself in a certain state. You only feel confident when you're well prepared. Yes or no? The first key to being confident is to know what the heck you're reading. If you don't understand, right, you don't feel confident because you actually don't know what is going on. Clear? So ask Dylan, ask your teachers, whoever you find, ask until you can really understand the concept. Okay? Because if you don't understand the concept, you go to the exam and you're scared because you actually don't know what the heck what it means. Next thing is I spend all my time, so I watch all my friends and I know that I cannot do that also. They spend all their time reading notes and textbooks and highlighting and underlining and copying and doing all the usual stuff that you might do. Perhaps not after this session. I understand the concept, read summaries. Second thing I did is I said, I am rewarded for knowing how to answer questions well, under pressure, correct? I figured that I will only spend my time reading. Listen to this. It might sound weird at the start, but it makes total sense. I spend all my time reading the answer key. Why? You can use this for for any kind of essays or social studies or whatever, but I'll spend more time reading the answer key. Why? I'll tell you why. This is especially true for any kind of essay stuff. Because the more you read notes, you might know a lot, memorize a lot, but you might not be able to apply. But here's the funny thing, the more you read the answer key, so here's my hack. I take the paper, I take the answer key there, I look left, I look right, I look left, I look right, I look left, I look right. The more I read the answer key, right, after a while, I tend to realize a pattern. Who understand? I realize, oh, this kind of question always asks one. Oh, this is the kind of answer they're looking for. You are a smart person. The more you read the question and read the answer key, right, you start to discover, oh, they always ask this kind. Oh, this is the usual answer that they're looking for. You're smart. So I only read the answer key. Who understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? But you're smart, right? Now the next thing that I do is for other exams that involve writing essays and this kind, right, I will go and find what a 10 out of 10 answer look like. Correct? Especially for essay. Why? Let me tell you something. You're very clever. After you read 10 amazing essays, you will tend to notice a pattern. Who understand? All the level 5 answer is like this. The 10 out of 10 answer is like this. This is how it's written. You will notice. Even better is if you take a 5 out of 10 essay and you read, oh, so this is what failure looks like. This is what success looks like. I spend all my time, because why? I'm short on time, right? So I got no time to read the notes. I need to read answer key. Paper, answer key, paper, answer key, paper, answer key, paper, answer key. Give me all the answer key. Give me all the models. I read already. I read 10 times. I roughly know already. Because why? The more you read success, you read it 10 times, 20 times, you can reproduce it. Who agree? But easy to copy, right? You read 10 times already, you roughly know already. Right? You read the answer key a few times already, you roughly know, oh, this kind of question always this kind of answer. Ta-da. So while they're reading 10 notes and 10 books, I'm reading 10 essays, 10 answer keys, matching left and right, left and right, left and right. Who likes my method so far? Hands up if you like it. Very simple, right? Because I focus entirely on what? The ability to do. They focus entirely on the ability to know and memorize. But they cannot do it. Everybody clear? Simple? Easy, So we save time also. Okay? So there's a second method. The third method is to do this. Let's read it out loud. 1, 2, 3. A lot. 1, 2, 3. Louder, louder. Practice a lot. So after I studied the answer key, right, what do I spend most of my time doing? Practicing. Why? Because the more you practice, the more confident you feel about taking exams, answering questions under time pressure. Everybody clear? So every single day, I only read answer key, make sure I understand the concept, then spend a little bit of time to practice. Because the more you practice, and I give myself time pressure. So maybe I answer half a paper under 1 hour. So I get used to the idea of having to answer things under pressure. Everybody clear? So I set myself 2 to 3 p.m. I just practice that. Match with the answer key, then I practice again. So meanwhile, sitting beside me is a person spending all 6 hours reading. I'm spending all my time practicing. Everybody clear? I only read answer key, understand concept, and practice. By the time the exam comes, I have practiced probably 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. He has practiced 2 times. Because he spent all his time reading and only practiced the 2 times like just before the exam. Correct or not? I spend my time practicing 50 times. So by the time the paper comes to me, this is my 51st time answering question. I feel very confident because I every day do this also. He feels nervous because he's scared. He doesn't know whether all the things that he has spent memorizing, he can produce. Who can see a huge difference? Yes or no? Confidence is when you are well prepared. I practice a lot. Every single day I practice. So, number 4. And this one is really, really useful before I bring Dylan up also. The 4th thing is simply this. Actually, I will write here. So, yes, okay. So, let's read the 2 words out loud. 1, 2, 3. Louder, louder. This one is really important. So I want you to write it down, know yourself, and we're going to discover this now as a group. And then afterwards, I'm going to bring Dylan up, and then we can share how Dylan hacked the exams also. So what does know yourself mean? I want you to go and think back now. There's nothing you really need to discover because all of you are above 14 years old. Who's above 14? Hands up if you're above 14. Okay, no one under 14, right? You're under 14? Oh, okay. Who is older than 12? Older than 12, very good. Okay, everybody here. That means you have been on this planet 12 years. 12 years is a very long time. You have taken exams before. You have managed to get work done before. You have managed to get no work done before. There's a lot of sample size. So know yourself means, I want you to think back now. So take your notes, draw a line down. Okay, so draw a table, draw a line down, separate right and left. Okay, watch. And so label it. So please do this now. And I'm going to teach you and have you understand yourself really, really well by the time you're done in the next 3 minutes. So it's one side you have best, one side you have worst. And remember, there's nothing you need to really discover. Just go and think back to a time. First thing, the first P that I wrote over here, right, is called place. So I want you to think right now, and I want you to answer this also. And we're going to learn something about ourselves as a group. First one, think back to a time where you got things done. You know that homework, you actually got it done. You said you're going to sit down and study, you actually got it done. Where was that? What kind of place was it? Was it in a quiet place, a library, nature, McDonald's, Changi Airport, cafe? Some of you, like I find people studying in the strangest places also. Think back to a time when you got things done. Please write down. Okay, where did you get things done? Very fast, right? It was very enjoyable. You sat down, you said you're going to do it for 1 hour. You actually got it done in 1 hour. And it was like kind of easy, not forceful. Right? So please write that under best. Where was the best place you got things done? Okay, so I'm going to walk down. I'm just going to stick a mic in some of your face. You also tell me, but I'm also curious to know also. So let me answer first. The place where I got things done the best, right, is usually at some kind of cafe. Cafe, I put my earbuds inside, and then I like sit down and I say, okay, I need to get this done, but it's not too noisy also. Cannot be too many people. Okay, that's where I get it done. I sit down for 1 hour, I actually get it done in 1 hour. Second one is my business partner's house. He got 2 houses, but usually his dining table. That's where I actually got things done. Only these 2 places. Other than that, I mostly don't get a lot of things done. So I'm going to walk down, you tell me. Where?
The school and the library.
The school library, okay, very good. Where? The library. Oh, library. Where?
Bugis library.
Wow, very specific. Bugis. Why specific Bugis? So Toa Payoh cannot. Okay, really cannot.
And the office and home.
Office at home. Oh, your home got office. Wow, very solid. You?
Library.
Library. Okay, very good. So you know where that place is. Hands up if you have that place. Tell the person beside you. Paradigm School. It's damn funny. Hey, Dylan, you must open rental. They only get work done at Paradigm. Okay. Shh. Now, number two. Wait. Shh. Number 2. Where's the worst place to get things done? Please put it in. That one is when you tell yourself you want to spend time 2 hours there, and then at the end of 2 hours you never even flip a single page. You never get anything done. Please write down. Okay, when you kid yourself and say, I'm going to spend 2 hours there, I'm going to do this, it's such a great idea. Write down, where's the worst place? Where's my worst place? Actually, I cannot get anything done at home. So when I stay at home, I get nothing done. So for me, it's like that, especially where I go to certain places, I cannot get anything done. Give me a thumbs up if you have this place. Where? Your room, okay, very good. Where? Cafe. Where? Cafe, very good. Why I ask you to do this? Next time your friend show you go cafe, you must tell yourself, don't lie to yourself. You know you go cafe, you're not going to get anything done. Who understand? Don't go. You know you're going to get things done with Bugis Library, very specific, right? Then please go Bugis Library. I did this first. And you know what I realized? I also am like you guys, I get only things done in 2 places. I think there was a study room, specifically when I was at Hwa Chong. Study room and the library. That's it. And so because I'm short on time, right, I never join my friend go up McDonald's, cafe, but I know I get nothing done. The only 2 places, right, I go and get any kind of work done is the study room and the library. So every day, where do you think I went? Study room and library. That's it. Number 2, answer the next one. The second P is what's the P? Please read out loud. 1, 2, 3. People. Very good. Now you answer this question. When you get things done, is it usually like you say you got to do for 1 hour, you actually get 1 hour done? Is it usually with people or without? Some of you the answer is with, but then specifically with this guy that like sit there and do work, and then you feel his energy or feel her energy, then you get things done. Some of you, I know. Some of you the answer is alone. Some of you like doing stuff in a group of people. Please write down. With people or without people, and specifically who. You say you're going to be with this person or be alone for 1 hour, you actually get it done. So with or without, if it's with, who is this person? Hands up if you have an answer. Hey, who are the people that with? Like with one, you can actually get things done with. Who you sit with?
The topper, the topper. The common toppers always the full mark, you know.
Okay. So you spend time with smart people, then you suck their energy. Okay, very good. Anyone else? You study with people and with. Who?
My mother.
Your mother. Also, you suck your mother energy. Okay, very good. Anyone else with one? With who?
My 3 friends.
Your?
3 friends.
Your 3 friends. So only those 3 only.
Yeah.
Other than those 3 cannot. Okay, very good. Now you know who you study alone on alone. So with people actually you raise both. You 3 friends then alone.
If it's not those 3 friends, then alone.
Oh, then alone. Okay, very good. Hands up if you're alone. Which means usually you don't get anything done when you have people around. Very good. Okay, now you know something. So the next time you have a bunch of people that are not your 3 friends or the toppers and they ask you, brother, sister, want to study together or not? You should tell them what? No. Because I know I spent 4 hours with you, we will get nothing done. So now you go and write down, worse. Who are the people that if you study with, you will literally get nothing done? 4 hours there means 4 hours gone. Please write down. Some of you are pointing to the person beside you. You. When I study with you, I get nothing done. Please write down. Who has the answer? Hands up if you have the answer. Is it usually with people where you get nothing done? Yes. Is it with some of your best friends that you have a lot in common to talk about? Yes. So please, if you want to actually study, please avoid them. Tell them, brother, sister, we hang out lah. We don't pretend we're going to study because these 5 hours is going to be bad for me and bad for you. Give me a thumbs up if this makes sense. Simple, So, the T. No, let's do the M first. Oops. What's the M? Let's read out loud. 1, 2, 3. Music. Now, I observe all of you also. Just now, when you all first came in, some of you have the Apple earbuds lah, some of you have music lah. So, listen now. Important. Listen to this. So, I want you to ask yourself, when you were at your best, which means I sit down for 1 hour, I actually got the job done in 1 hour. Were you listening to music or not? And if so, what kind of music? Which means, is it like classical music? Is it your favorite Maroon 5 music or Blackpink music? Whatever it is. Please write down. Was it music or no music? When you sat down, you say you're going to do something for 1 hour, you actually got it done. With music or without? If the answer is with, what music was it? What's your answer? Tell me. I'm curious. Drake. Wow, okay. What subject you study with Drake? Bio. Drake and bio. Okay, see, it's cool. I will get, hey, bro, relax. Just because she can do it, don't mean you can do it. I will get nothing done with Drake in my ear. I don't like Drake. No offense. Shh. Write down first. Who has an answer? Give me a thumbs up. Who are the people that actually got things done with no music? Hands up, no music. Okay, very good. Who are the people that actually got things done with music? Anyone, the music, no lyrics one, which means like classical, EDM, but no music. Okay, who got lyrics one? Oh, power. Sorry, none of my business. But all the people with lyrics one, hands up. What's your artist? Yeah, you. Huh? Party what? Party next door. Hey, hands up, the lyrics one. This got nothing to do with the content. My curiosity. What's your artist? The Weeknd. What's your artist? My Chemical Romance. Oh, you can study with Chemical Romance. I will get nothing done. You? Why you ask her, bro? Oh, you? Yeah. Wow, okay. Shh, shh, shh. So you learn something. When you listen to this kind of stuff, you get things done. Now, watch, Now, put under the worst. Worst means what? You sit there, you play this person's music or no music. After 3 hours, the only thing you memorize is all the weekend lyrics. You never get anything done. Please write down. Okay, so the one that you get nothing done, is it with or without music? If so, what kind of music will you play? Then you get nothing done. So I respect all the people. I respect all the people here that can listen to lyrical music, because if I were to listen to Drake, I will get nothing done. So I know I cannot. So when I study, that's why I go study room and library, because no music. Hands up if you wrote that down. Okay? Who here you get no work done if you listen to lyrical music? Hands up if you do. Nothing will get done. Okay, you will just like bob your head, 4 hours gone. So you now you know. So this is why. Now, never listen. This is very important. Why? Because many of you go to a place that brings out not the best in you, but the what in you? Worse. You go to a place where first of all the place is wrong. Then you go hang out with the people that you get nothing done. Then the place very noisy. Then you spend 5 hours there, you actually at the end of which you get no things done. How many of you have had that situation before? Hands up. Then you wonder, then get frustrated with yourself. Why? Because it's everything wrong already, right? You should go to a place that brings out the best in you, with the people or no people that brings out the best in you, and with music or no music that brings out the best in you. Then you suddenly realize, hey, I'm a genius. I'm very hardworking. I get things done. Who understand what I'm saying here? Hands up if you do. Final one. Please write down. Might not make your parents happy, this one. What's the word? Loud. David, louder? Time. Louder, everybody. Time. What does time mean? Shh. Make sure you catch this. There are 3 parts in a day. They are called MAN. M stands for? Louder? Morning. A stands for? N stands for? All of you right here, you are either one of these 3 people. So listen carefully. Which part of the day do you get the most things done? Please write down. Which means that you sit down at this period, you get the most things done. Write down. Especially if you're even better, write down the hour. Roughly around this time, I have a track record of getting things done. What time to what time? Okay, I will come around. I'm very curious. What's your answer? PM or AM? Till what time? What? How about
6 p.m. to 10.
6 p.m. to 10. It's 12 a.m. to 4:30. 4 a.m. What's your answer?
12 a.m.
You also like her? Your sisters? What's your answer?
4:30 a.m.
All right, wow. What the? So I don't judge. During that period of time, hands up if you have a track record of getting things done. At whatever the timing you wrote down. I better see everybody's hands up. Okay? Tell the person beside you, whatever vampire timing there is.
9 to 6. 6 a.m. to 6 No, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay, shh. Okay, very good. Give them a fist bump. Say thank you. Hey, fist bump lah, not fist in the face lah, brother. Shh. Okay, listen now. Final one, before I bring Dylan up. What time in the day you get nothing done? Please write down.
7 a.m.
Which means at this period, I actually have no track record of having actually achieved anything else. Please write it down. What's your timing?
Like right after school.
What you do right after school?
Like very tired and then like no motivation.
Okay, cool. So he knows if he go and study at that period, he will get nothing done. What's your answer?
2 to 4 p.m.
What do you do best at that 2 to 4?
I don't know, that's the worst.
Oh, that's the worst. Okay. What's your answer?
The worst is also like 2 to 4 p.m.
Interesting. So you learn something. You learn that if you go and study, watch. Here's how you can completely waste your time and feel irritated with yourself. And feel like a loser. Listen. If I go and study in the wrong place, with the wrong people, that is either too quiet or too noisy, at the worst timing, what will happen as an output? No, it's not disaster. Disaster implies there's even an output. Nothing will happen. I will stare at the paper, nothing will go in my brain. It will be a complete gigantic waste of time. But watch if I go to the right place, with the right people or without people, with the right environment, music or not, at the right time, I will suddenly feel I'm a freaking genius. Who learned something? Hands up if you learned something. Why did I come up with this? Because I was short on time. And I say, cannot I cannot go like this guy can study 8-9 hours. I cannot I'm short on time. So I got to read the summaries, I got to read the answer keys, I got to practice the question, and I got to find my magic timing. And I found all of these things, which means I got more done in those 2 months than many of these people who are memorizing, not practicing, overstressed, never practice, use the wrong timing, and so they look like they're working a lot, but nothing's entering their brain. Who has been there before? Hands up if you have. So you sit there for 9 hours, but like you don't remember anything. I am like a peak performer, right time, right place, everything practiced. So when we go to the exam, I actually feel quite confident because I every day practice. I notice they don't feel very confident because they never practice. And what's the end result? The end result is afterwards, they study so hard, I think they get AABB. I went from BDEU to AAAA in 2 months. Who thinks that's amazing? Hands up if you think so. My final word before I bring Dylan up, right, is when you practice the methods that I use. Son, last part already. I want you to write this down because this is what I'm super good at, and I want to share this with you. Let's read it out loud all together because this exam is all about this, and I'm the king of doing this, really, and I want to translate that skill to you. Remember, it's not the most hardworking person, it's not the person who knows the most, it's not the person it's not none of these, it's the person who's able to answer the questions under time pressure that gets the best score. Yes? Hands up if you remember that. Yeah? And so when you learn everything I cover, right, the one thing you do is you're able to what? Louder, 1, 2, 3. Peak at the right time. They never peak at the right time because why? By the time they go exam, they are tired, stressed out, exhausted. I am confident, well prepared. I sit down, give me a paper, bring it on. They cannot remember already. And so when you practice all 4 of those ideas that I cover, you'll peak at the right time. Then you'll ace your exams, and you're actually looking forward, and you feel confident. Please give me a thumbs up if this is useful. Who found this genuinely useful? Hands up if you did. Okay, so please give yourselves a round of applause, and I'll bring Dylan up also.
First and foremost, pre-set 4, I was memorizing every single word in the textbook for my biology, for my chemistry, for my physics, for my geography, for my social science. I memorized everything. And I realized that my responses, I'm writing an entire essay, right, hoping to get my distinction. But my friends are writing just 1, 2 lines for their science responses and they get full marks. Who has seen your friends are writing just 2 lines and they get full marks? But you write like one freaking whole paragraph, right, you get nothing. And that is a realization. I spoke to my biology teacher. I said, I'm studying damn hard, I memorized everything. How come I still can't get the distinction? And then she passed me the answer script. And on the answer script, I realized something that I didn't knew before, way back when I was in Sec 1 to Sec 3, which is that the answer script has lines underneath. These 3 words, 1 mark. Underline this phrase, 1 mark. Have you all seen the answer script before? Like this line, this is 1 mark, this line, this is 1 mark. But I didn't know of their existence, so I was memorizing everything. But the moment I realized that the answer key is there with all these key phrases, now I create my notes based on the answer key. I don't create my notes based on the textbook because that's useless. You all get the shift? Okay, that is the best hack that I have for you all. And we are talking about science, humanities, anything that requires like long structured responses.
So pause, right? So, how many people here you like to buy notes? Right? Hands up, you like to buy notes. You see a difference? My friends who study very hard, they buy notes. I don't buy notes. What do you think I buy? I only buy answer key only. I buy answer key. You see the difference? That was exactly what I did. We all have the same realization. You buy notes, you go and read more, you confuse yourself. I buy answer key. Because when I buy answer key and I buy paper, right, just like what Dylan said, I compare it, I start to get the pattern. Some of you don't understand the pattern. Why didn't Dylan know the pattern for 3 years? Well, he never see the answer key, right? He see a textbook, right? Why he discovered the answer eventually? Well, he saw the answer key, right? See, he see one time, he get it already. If you do what I did and what he did, you buy the answer key, I tell you, you're very clever. You seem like a genius. Hands up if you understand. Simple? It's a hack.
Okay, so like what Melvin said, right, the exam papers, right, go and comb through all the past year papers. Now, in the past, right, we need to go to Bras Basah to go and purchase the thick exam papers. Nowadays, you just go and Google Set 4 O-level biology pre papers. It's just one click away. Right, so everything is accessible, in your fingertips, and that's really, really going to help you, right, in your entire preparation.
Did you practice a lot last time in order to be confident?
No, never.
Never?
Yeah. I read a lot.
Read a lot?
Memorize a lot. Recite a lot.
If you memorize a lot, I tend to find when you memorize a lot but you never practice, you have a lot of fear. Because I tend to realize, because now you have a lot of information, right, but you have never actually written it out before. So you're very scared also, because you are like, will I remember, will I forget? Who has been there before? Hands up if you have. Please, in your preparation, make sure you practice a lot. Because if you study a lot, but you never ever write it out before, you get very scared. Because it's not structured also. What else did you do to get good at the exams?
I think something else that I want to touch on, I'm not sure if you all know, but is to understand the exam syllabus. Right, so if you're going to Google, right, for your science and humanities, you're going to Google SCAD syllabus. Everything that you will be tested is already outlined. Right, okay, you need a definition of this, you need a definition of this, you need to know how to explain this. But previously I don't know. Right, so we study our textbook, we just memorize everything in that chapter. But you realize that 50% of the textbook, right, it's not going to be coming out in the exam, right? Same thing for mathematics, right? We can draw into mathematics. Before you all come to our classes, right, you realize that if I really practice textbook question, but it doesn't come out in the exam, who has that experience? You practice all the textbook question, or some of the exam question, right? But you realize, these are not the questions that I'm practicing at home, right? How come the questions that I do at home is different from what's coming out in the exam? Right, which is why all the textbook and the things that we create, right, is directly from exam papers. Right, look through all the past 10 years of our exam papers from 7 to 4, then we pull, we compile. So whatever questions I bring in class, right, are questions that have been tested, and these are the questions that you need to know before you walk to the exam hall.
Who here beginning to realize the textbook quite useless? I tell a secret also. As I prepare in those 2 months, right, I never touch textbook. I just tell you first. Because why? I told you just now when I first started, I say textbooks are masters of making very simple concept very long. Who agree with me? Hey, the thing can say one sentence they say one paragraph on it. Yes? 300-page textbook. My economics was like this thick. I say cannot. I think the 50-page one better. So I never touch the textbook also. Actually, I don't even know why I buy it also. But at the end of the 2 years, I also never read it also. Everybody clear? You're beginning to hear the same thing. He also tell you. You do a lot of textbook stuff. So if you spend a lot of time, 80-90% of the time on the textbook, I promise you, you're not going to do very well. Because it's very long. You might not understand. It's very boring. You practice a lot of things that won't come out. Then, of course, you don't do well. Everyone clear? Is this making sense? Hands up if this is making sense. I know this goes completely against what your teacher says, but I ask you read textbook. I don't. Because it's not what I know, right? It's what I do. Any other tips? I think the one thing is also the beautiful thing you do at Paradigm, right, is you help the folks and the students here be able to understand why something works. Let's talk about importance, or not just like memorizing, but understanding why something works. I think it's so important.
So in my class, right, if some of you are my students and all the teachers will always mention, the first 5 minutes of the class is the most important. Okay? Not just for math, for any other subject. Because any teacher, you're going to think back, if the teacher loses your attention in the first 5 minutes, who here zone out already? I don't know what this teacher is talking about. Then you just go and do your stuff, go and talk to your friends, and use your phone. Agree with me? So please note this down. The first 5 minutes of class is the most important. And what I always do, okay, this is a mini hack that I did for myself at university. Usually people or teachers say pre-reading. Go and pre-read your notes. Who here that before? Pre-read your textbook and then go for your class. Okay, that is, in my opinion, that doesn't work because you don't know what you're reading, and the textbook, as Mel has mentioned, right, doesn't make sense. Right? Instead, I go and watch YouTube. What is respiration all about? Give me something cool and fancy or whatever. Right? Let me find curiosity in that subject. What's differentiation? Then I go and watch a video on Acing Newton. What is binomial theorem? I go and find which fella created this nonsense. So I will start watching YouTube video to gain curiosity. So when I step foot into the class, when the teacher says, hey, today we are going to learn differentiation. Who knows what is differentiation? I'm always the first one to answer the first question. Because I want to get engaged with the teacher. Right, so I answer the first question, then after I poop. So after I complete the first 5 minutes mark, then I will follow through with whatever the teacher is talking about. But if I go into a mentality, I don't know what this topic talking about, I don't know what this topic, I'll lose the entire session and I'll waste the 1 hour.
That is a very good hack. Turn the person beside you, say summary. Do you realize, guys, listen. So Dylan and I'm a little bit older than Dylan. I'm not sure if you can tell, but a little bit. Actually, quite a few years. So when I was studying, I don't have YouTube, so sorry. So I got to go and get the summary book, correct? Right? But if I were in your position today, I won't use the summary book. Right? What do you think I will use? I'll use only 2 things to summarize things. Who said that? ChatGPT. Who got here before? Hands up if you here before. Very good summary tool. You know what I will do actually? Please don't tell your parents this. ChatGPT, right? But it's a paid version only. You find the money somewhere. I don't know. One thing I noticed is some of you are wearing like damn cool hip stuff. My number 1 question to my friends at back is where you get the money? some of your sneakers quite expensive. So you can afford the ChatGPT paid one. What is my point? My point is the ChatGPT paid one, you can take entire PDF, put inside and ask them to summarize. Who knows this? Don't know, go home, watch YouTube video, how to use ChatGPT, summarize things. I will use ChatGPT. Why? Well, I can turn the 300 page, right, into that 50 pager really quickly. But the one paid version, I think it's 4.0. Okay, so first 2 I'll use today. Because when I was studying for this, it was back in 2004, 5. So I'm 36, 37, you cannot tell, I know. Oh, not bad, right? Yeah. So if I was a student today, I will use ChatGPT. The second thing I will use is the website that Dylan mentioned, which is what? Louder? YouTube. Because why? YouTube people need to get attention. They are specialists at explaining very difficult things in very fun, short, entertaining ways. You watch 2-3 summary video, you understand the concept already. You read textbook for 2 hours, you might get more confused. Who agree with me? So if I study today, only 2 tools I use. ChatGPT and YouTube. Everybody clear? Simple?
And the beauty about ChatGPT, right, is that you can constantly ask questions. Like, hey, ChatGPT, can you explain to me what is that? I don't understand, can you explain again? I don't understand, can you explain like, I'm a 3-year-old kid. So you can always have a conversation with the robot, and the robot will try the best to help you understand things. I'll give you a simple example. I was just in Europe last month. Right, so we purchased the audio guide, right, to understand. But that was a waste of money because the audio guide just tells me random knowledge that it doesn't apply to me. So I decided to, return the audio guide and I took out my ChatGPT. And along the way, I'm asking, what is this Colosseum? When was it founded? So I'm asking the ChatGPT based on what came out in my mind, right? Not some random statistics that I don't bother about. So same thing you can do for yourself, right? Let's say I'm learning a chapter. Explain to me, summarize this topic or this chapter. What am I going to learn? What are the important things I need to know? Right? What are the highlights? What are the key points? What's the objective? Right? What is the story behind it? Explain this in a fun and interesting manner. Give me a metaphor, give me an acronym. Right? Whatever. Everything now you can just use AI to help you study better.
This is fantastic. Who likes this tip? Hands up. It's not fantastic, right? Okay. Well, last time no ChatGPT. Sorry, when during my time don't have. So I got to buy summary guide. Now I got ChatGPT and YouTube. I think it'll be so fun, so fast also. I might be able to get a 4 A's lesser than 2 months. Actually, if I go back now, maybe 1 month I can ChatGPT plus YouTube plus all the right environment. Maybe I 1 month go BDEU until A. But once again, I already told you, please don't try this. If you go wrong, not my problem. I already told you, copy the method, don't copy the situation. Okay, any other tips for like before exam prep, especially for like now 2024?
I think environment now plays a big part, right? Because we are now more social.
But I'm curious also, what environment did you notice, right? You go to, you get things done. What environment you get nothing done? I think
So I went to Sec 3, right? I was mostly at Burger King's with some random friends. Right? So on the weekends we'll go to Burger King's. But I realized, so I prepared this segment that I want to share with you. I went to Burger King, the first hour, what do you think I will do at Burger King?
I don't eat.
Order food. We spent the first 20 minutes debating, should I order this mushroom Swiss burger? Or should I order Sprite or Coke? So I spent the first 30 minutes deciding what to eat. Then after you eat, you order the food, right? You spend another 30 minutes eating.
Why you eat so long?
Then after that, you start to get into the zone, right? But because it's at Burger King, there's music. And then, next thing, you are hanging out with the wrong friends. 30 minutes into the study, your friend complains, oh, today I'm sian, then tired, way. Then how do you feel? Will you say, no, don't disturb me, I want to study? Or like, yeah, also a bit lazy. If you want to talk, then you start gossiping. Or you start doing other stuff already. So that's my realization in set 1 to 3. I was spending out the entire day telling my mom that I was studying. But in fact, effective hour of me studying, this is less than an hour. Even though I was out from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Pause. Who got the same situation? Hands up. So you tell yourself or your parents that you're studying, but actually get nothing done. Hands up if you have been there before. That was what? The people that bring out the worst in you. Then where do you realize that you get the most things done?
I think the switch is I start model after the top students. I realized that this fella, which I always see, he goes to this random corner in the library. And he's there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I started one day just follow him. So instead of me going to Burger King, my friend, I said, no, I'm going to go to the library. So I went to the Tampines Regional Library. I think he's still there. Right? And I saw that he always queues up, okay, at 9:50. Because at 10 a.m., once the door opened, everyone will spring out to the library. So by 9:50 must be there already, else there's no seats. Then he always find a seat and he study by himself the entire day. So that is the greatest realization that I have when I see all these students what they're doing.
Fantastic. Useful. Okay, you came up with a plan just now. Where are the best places? Please go to those places. Avoid the worst places. Then you actually get things done. Any other tips before we?
And I want to add in on the environment part. I realized something quite interesting. You all can experiment. Take one day, okay, on the weekend, right? Try out, go to a university. Okay, go and experiment. Go to NUS, go to SMU, SUTD, or whatever that's near to your house. Study it. Because when you look left, you look right, you see a person, a medicine here, right, an engineer here, a computer science. You really get a lot of inspiration and energy from there. I didn't do that last time because I wasn't aware about it. But when I was in the library, I realized, as a JC student here, there's a Hwa Chong kid here, there's an RI kid here. So it's like, I want to use my phone, right? Because everyone is funny and now then I want to use my phone. I should be like them. They're also focused. How they stay focused for so long? But every 30 minutes, I want to use my phone. So I get that muscle whereby I can start to focus longer and longer because, I'm modeling after these top students, right? Whether it's from Hwa Chong, RI, from university, from JC, I start to, understand how they behave in that environment that the library has, and of course the university has.
Okay, so I think some of you just now, you kind of mentioned, yes, I study alone, but I think it's absolutely correct. Because there's certain power, right, in an environment where everyone is also doing the same thing. Who understands what I'm saying? Because like what I mentioned just now, our friend here say you only study with all the top people. Because I just tell you, the energy thing is real. You study with smart people, you become smarter. It's the same the other way around. You study with dumb people, you become dumber. I just tell you this. Okay, I got to say it the other way around. So if you want to, but it's kind of the same, right? I mean, does anyone here like exercising? Okay, when you go and work out with fit people, do you push yourself harder, yes or no? If you work out with like some of the people that go gym, just do one set, then take a lot of picture and then actually never get anything done, you also behave the same. Who agree? So who you hang out with, very important. So if you're going to hang out and study with people, right, at least make sure they're doing well. Just tell you first. Anything else?
The next thing that comes to my mind, right, is asking questions. Okay, so please think because in the past I was quite shy, right? In lower sec, I was someone that doesn't ask much questions, I have no confidence. But I found out that let's say I encountered a challenging math problem, and I said, next week tuition, then I asked that. So I wasted the entire week, and my knowledge still remained the same. Then I wasted another week, the following week I get one question solved, and so the entire week, how many questions have I completed? Just one. Versus another student, instantly text the teacher, on that day itself, clear the dark in like 30 minutes, the student can do another 10 questions, another 20 questions, another 30 questions, when stuck in difficulty, and constantly ask. So I realized that just based on a compounding effect, that student, maybe same ability as me, he has already got in maybe 50 questions that week. For myself, one question. Who will do better? Obviously that student. Right, but is it because of abilities? No, it's because the ability to ask questions and to clear doubts ASAP.
Yes, okay, so remember that I said just now, most important thing is to discover why something works. Teachers are fantastic for one thing, explaining why, that's it. Okay, so if you don't understand something, find a teacher. If your teacher don't do a good job, find someone like Dylan. Just go and ask until you get it. Because when you get it, you like everything makes sense. And when it makes sense, then you know how to answer questions already. But my fear is that you go and take the exam and actually you memorize a lot of things, but you don't understand what it means. It doesn't actually make sense only, but you just know how to memorize it. That's the worst kind. Because when you only memorize things but don't make sense, you cannot really answer questions. Especially you don't know what the heck you're memorizing.
I want to give out something empowering. If you don't understand what a teacher is saying, right, it's not that you are not intelligent, it's not that you are dumb. Can you know this now? It's not your fault. It's the teacher's fault. Write it down. If you don't understand anything, it's the teacher's fault. Because the teacher is not explaining your lingo. The teacher is not explaining the language that you understand. So we as students, of course, in our classes we have your teachers and constantly ask, right? But what happens if you have another science teacher or whatever? What I did last time, I go and ask other classes teacher. Right? So I make friends with other classes teacher and say, hey teacher, can you come here and explain? My teacher really see and my really cannot. Okay, that's one. Right, number two, right? Just now we talk about YouTube videos. On YouTube, right, you can go experiment. You open up, right? Let's say what is algebra. There's hundreds of videos explaining what is algebra. Trust me, there's gonna be videos that you don't understand. Find the one that helps you to create the curiosity and the interest. There's that one fella that, wow, when I listen to this fella, right, wow, suddenly I understand a lot of things. Right? So, I repeat again, it is not your fault, right, if you do not understand what's happening in class. It is the teacher's fault. But if you don't do anything about it, then now it's your fault. Your responsibility is to go and figure it out, whoever or whatever it takes.
Yes, that one very, very useful also. Okay? Does anyone have any questions, by the way, before we wrap up this segment? Is it useful? Okay, anything else then before we wrap up this? Okay, so this is a segment in before. So two things we have covered here before we go for lunch, I think. So the first one is identity also. So Daryl did a great job just now. Identity, do you see yourself as being able to ace it? What is your reason why? Many other things. And number two, please use the methods that we cover here. If I can summarize everything, it's not about how much you know. It's how much you can answer under time pressure. You practice that, you get better at that. Always remember, when you practice something more and more, you get better at that specific thing. If I know how to answer, if I practice answering questions, I get better at answering questions. If I practice memorizing, the only thing I get good at is memorizing. Everybody clear? Simple? Okay, so over to you.